Somebody asked me on the comments the other day, hey dude, can you show Crysis? And I don't have Crysis, but I have Far Cry 3, and they have similar looks. And back in the day, Crysis, I remember at that time I had a 8800 GT, and that was not enough for that Crysis game. It was just insane. But this Far Cry 3 was similar, very very demanding, and still is. But we can now look back to those games and play them, at 120 if you can, and it does look amazing. But this is not a rock solid 120 because this game is CPU bound. So I have a 5800X 3D CPU, and still not enough for a solid 120 on this game. It drops. It drops to 90s and even the 80s. But I'm okay with that. I'm not gonna play the game again. I beat this game a long time ago. But just to look at the visuals, I am using right now black frame insertion at 120, and that's the way I like to play shooters. I'm trading responsiveness. I'm trading that input lag for motion resolution because this is insane. So I've been, talking about everything that I don't like about this TV, but but I know this TV is amazing. It is. I just turn on the plasma and it looks better in some areas. So that's just frustrating to me that a 2009 TV has some advantages over this. But everything else, I mean, this TV being 4K right now with this 120 black frame insertion, 4K HDR. Let me show you the settings. So this game is not HDR. It doesn't have an HDR implementation, but I have HDR on Windows, and every single game is working on HDR. Just make sure on the control panel on NVIDIA, you change the color settings to gain, to signal detected by the display to be a gain. So I have HGIG, which is what I use on every single game, unless I don't have enough brightness for black frame insertion, and then I have to change it to tone mapping on. But tone mapping on is not accurate. It just compresses the image to raise brightness, but it's not accurate. HGIG is where it's at. It's a big difference, especially on the clouds. When you see, for example, I turn off tone mapping, you see the clouds, they are off, they're gone. But if you do this, boom, you get that cloud, but it doesn't raise the rest of the image. It just raises the specular highlight details. And also, I don't know if you should call the cloud specular highlight details. I know what specular highlight details are. It's basically when you see those shiny reflections, but I don't know how to call that on the clouds. But anyway, it is amazing. I mean, I don't have any strange settings. Just warm 50 and the colors to 55, and I have that black frame insertion on high, which is, the reason I got this C1 is for black frame insertion at 120 frames. The C2 cannot do that. I don't know why. It's just insane that they are going backwards in that area. I'm sure they can just do a firmware update and fix that. But for the moment, this 120 black frame insertion is just amazing. It does dim the screen a lot, and you lose a lot of the specular highlight detail, but I will take that any day because this is like a CRT. It looks like a CRT. You move the camera, there's no blur. And I've seen some games that are even better than this one in that aspect. I don't know why. I have the anti-aliasing off, which can be, you can make everything look bad, the anti-aliasing. And for example, to be honest, this game on the Plasma TV, it doesn't look as good. The colors, right now on the OLED, it looks uh, more correct, more accurate, to be honest. The plasma TV on this game specifically, I don't know why. This was like the only game I opened on the plasma TV, and I thought, that's a little bit too much of blooming. Like, not blooming. It's like the incandescent light was too much. Especially because this game is so bright. It's like everything is green, and the lighting is super good. I mean, the lighting on this game is incredible. It's one of the best lightings on non-RTX games I've seen. It was very good lighting for the time. Absolutely revolutionary. So yeah, that's how it looks. It does look amazing. Let's see what we have to do here. Just I don't know. Let me enter this mansion and see how it looks on the inside. Yeah, everything looks great. I mean, it's an outdated game, but when you go to the forest, it does look amazing. So yeah, there you go.